Well, good morning. It is 7:45 a.m. and we're in Virginia, and we stopped at a gas station and also Chester's Chicken. And so right now we're still driving the Chevy Suburban here and doing well, no major problems here. So that's anything. Guys, we're heading south. We're going way south to the border. You're watching GTSam. I'm Sam, and today's a little bit different because we're going to be doing a used car review. And this car is not really a car, it's a monster SUV. And it's used with 200,000 miles. And there it is. So you might be wondering why I'm doing kind of a review like this on a used 2012 Suburban. Well, the reason I'm doing this is because I wanted to kind of go over the pitfalls and the repairs and everything that's been done to it and what the life of this Chevy Suburban has gone through in all of its life so far. And it's really quite the story, and just kind of like let you guys know about the longevity and the qualities and quirks and maybe pitfalls of this actual vehicle itself. So we're going to go into like its accident history and its mileage and this like interior, the engine, all things like that, and exterior as well. So let's go ahead and get to it and start with the exterior here. So a little bit of history on this SUV. It's been in Florida for its whole life since 2012, and it has been in 5 accidents. Yes, 5, and it still runs and drives very well. And the reason I know it runs so well is that my brother and I just did a road trip all the way from Pennsylvania back to Florida in one day, and we made it. We did great. And it gave me so much time to really connect with this beautiful SUV along the way and find all its quirks and features that really make it what it is today. And so with that, this was actually a pretty reasonably priced car, I guess you could say. And it's half like a hoopty as well, but still a very functioning, very good car as well. To kick things off, let's go ahead and start with the exterior of the car and go over some of the things that were noticeably wrong, defect, or just plain missing. So right over here, as you can kind of see, we got some paint damage right here starting to flake off, but I can only imagine that's because this bumper has probably been replaced due to an accident in the past. But then otherwise, these tires are brand new, rims are great. And so, come to this door, I can't wait to show you the inside here, but you can kind of see a little bit of red in here. Now, the paint also on here as well has that orange peel kind of gloss going on here on this door and the door right behind it as well. With that, I believe that those 2 doors were replaced and painted some time ago due to an accident. And as you can see, this handle right here is fully functional, but just losing some paint. No big deal. So let's move right along here. Same with that as well. But you still got the nice badges here. And the paint's relatively okay condition. It has some swirls going on here with trying to do some work on the paint, but not bad. And you got some of the Florida sun really helping out with the paint as well, giving some of the distortion there. And the bumper right over here is a little bit of something going on there. And we get to the back here, as you can see, yeah, this whole thing is just kind of flopping around here. But otherwise the bumper is pretty sound. But you can see here too that we have just a little bit of like dulling of the paint. It looks almost repainted in a really quick, cheap way, unfortunately. The funny thing is, from this side to the other, if you notice, the other side does not have these, but this side does. So obviously this side, I'm pretty sure was not an accident at all. Paint still looks good and original and doesn't have that orange peel texture going on as well. So just a kind of funny thing, they forgot to slap back on there. So let's go ahead and dive into the engine here now. All right. So the engine compartment is beautiful, really. So nothing really bad going on here. And the only real things my brother has done on this: oil change, oil filter, and some new belts. Otherwise, he had the transmission fluid change, not a flush, and replaced the filter. Another thing to note was actually he had to get the suspension done on the front here. So at 200,000 miles, I kind of expect that just a little bit. So he had the shop do that for him. So all in all, not bad so far. So I know there's a couple things that was happening to this car is that the rear main diff seal is actually leaking. So he's gonna get that replaced, and also the oil pan gasket. So let's get inside, check out the interior. All right, like I said, this is a used car review, so you are seeing it as it is. Hand sanitizer, very important. All right, so let's go ahead and dive right in. All right, I had to start with this door. We have to start with this. This is definitely one of the things that was just a pain to us while we were driving. But as you look right here, you have some of the paint coming through from the original door, red, and so you can kind of see that in some spots around here as well. It's just kind of funny, and of course the plastic piece here is missing also. But you come down to the engine panel here. This is kind of falling apart. This door, oh, it's ridiculous sometimes, but it works. It works. He's got to love the screw holes they have around here too. And over down below, we had to make some modifications to the whole door wouldn't squeak. And before the trip back home, we had to make we had to put a bolt all the way back there because I forgot to do that. Since we're in Florida, I can't keep the windows up and be in here and trying to do a used review, so we're just gonna turn it on and crank the AC. It turns on. Turns great. So while we're turning on the AC here, it's got some real funky controls sometimes. You can tell that these buttons are just worn out so bad. Like this is like a sticker at this point. I don't even know really how that's even like really staying on. But Chevy quality. Anyways, so you know, so change it. It's here, gone. And then alright, so while we're here, this button actually works. It's for your foot pedal control, for your to move it back and forth. This parking sensors, nope, doesn't work. Traction control, yeah, that works. Yeah, and you got your you know, window spray system there, that works too. But you know, couldn't resist. We had to put in a different head unit here. I'm not sure it was here before, but this works absolutely perfect because it's just so brand new. I'm really tall, so let's move back to the seat. I'll let you hear how that sounds. Alright, kind of feels like I'm going like with a sled over some gravel really at that point. I'm not really too surprised on that kind of quality, but 200,000 miles, you can't really complain about that too much. So let me show you the steering wheel here. Definitely had some wear and tear over the years. Buttons are just pretty much eaten away here, and they still light up great as your cruise control. Logo gone. And then so we got some more stuff here, but obviously that's not going to be used anymore with this new system. No problem, but yeah, paint gone, nice and rubbed off here. You can get a steering wheel cover for this as well. Okay, on to one of my favorite parts ever, this whole dash system here. Let me show you around. Over here, oil temperature. Over here, fuel. Over here, get your RPMs. Wait, isn't the car running? And then over here we have your speedometer. Wait, I'm going negative speed? Wow, I didn't know I could do that. This must be a really special car. And then we have less than 9 volts of battery over here, and then our engine temperature is below 160 apparently. These speedometer are in digital. Chevy was smart, I believe, in doing this and put a digital version in there because they knew something like this would probably happen. So that works perfectly, thank goodness, else we'd be in a lot of trouble. And so yeah, the trans temperature there is also in mileage, it goes away. There's your odometer, 213,000 miles on this thing. Average fuel economy, yeah, we were really just getting about 14 to 15 miles per gallon on the highway, and with the V8 it has coming down here. But yeah, you got your like oil life remaining units, you know, the tire pressure monitor is good. You can change all kinds of stuff, but we're not going to do that. Let's go to the checklist. So change all kinds of features as well. Interestingly though, this does have the remote start feature. This is the LT model, and so it came with that. Alright, good news everybody. We have manual sport shift mode. Check this out. There it is. Up, down.
Speed and power.
That's it. Nope. Not steering mount, column mounted at all. Just down, up. There you go. This is like the early version, the early cheap version you could get, probably. I feel bad for this next part, I really do. I don't want to bash too much on this, but I have to go over with you. Like, this dash is... It's crazy. Look at this. It's insane. This is the cheapest plastic you could ever do or put on a vehicle. And I can't believe it, really. But see, like, they tried to fix it over here with some duct tape a while ago, and then, like, you know, we got this going in and out. And so this is all nice and loose. This is cracked. You got this gigantic hole here. Then you come around the other side, and you got toe hole number 2. And you keep moving along here. And unfortunately, from the cover going off of the antenna up top, there is some water that did come in a little bit. That's unfortunate, but again, not a major issue at the moment. Gotta love this when you're driving over bumps. Even with all its flaws, you do get some tough, really tough leather. And like, you get lots of room, get the back seats. As you can see, you can have like all your kids back here, everything like that. There is also rear seating. Oh, that's just folded down. Right back here. All right, so this door now, also not too bad. Just like, this kind of comes loose just a little bit, but totally very manageable. And so you got a decent amount of leg room if you're really tall. I'm 6'1", so I fit just comfortably in here. So you got your cup holders and your armrest here. Not a ton of room for the arms, but that's okay. And while we're still talking about this back here, this actually works not at all. So you get nothing back here to be able to control this at all, which has to be kind of expected at this point. But you do get cup holders. All right, and here's the back trunk, and these seats are removed back here just for space because my brother has 2 dogs, and he got to fit all the crates right there. So you fit 2 crates in here with 2 big dogs, and then you got plenty of room for luggage as well, and then the family up front. So ample amount of space here. Sounds really great, smooth, runs well. All right, so we're gonna take it for a quick drive, kind of like let you know how this is, and hopefully you can hear just everything going on with it. Adjust this crazy seat. Yep. So this thing is like a big boat. I feel like if you're driving like any kind of Suburban like as big as this around, like, people get out of your way. It's just massive. It almost feels like the cops are coming through as well. So when you're driving in this thing, it's not exactly like a big couch. It's a little firmer than that, and it's still a nice ride. But if you're like going back and trying to get like maybe some kind of Buick or something like that, it's not going to be as comfortable as a Buick. So all in all, made it a 16-hour drive all the way from Pennsylvania to Florida. I think we're doing just fine. Some gas here. Gotta be a roar. Alright. And hauling something as big as this, it really just gets out of its own way. So the cabin's not like a luxury vehicle kind of quiet. This is a Chevy, and as you see from the plastic, it's a little bit cheaper. But with that, it's good. It's really good for what it is and what you're buying for the price that this was, and for being in 5 or 6 accidents, and the repairs that were done to it, and it rides really well. Let's give it a little gas. Nice. If you really want to compare the noise in the cabin to something, you can kind of say it just sounds like
putting a fan on the high speed setting and then in your room in the evening. Just kind of has that kind of drone. Alright, so we're gonna go do a nice cul-de-sac here, a nice sharp right turn. Whoa. And I love bigger SUVs. My Nissan Xterra back at home, 2004, massive turning radius. It's like beyond a Honda Civic. And that thing is small. This thing is huge, and it still has great turning abilities. And it always surprises me so much. Like, it beats my Acura TL in turning. My Acura TL is horrendous. Don't even compare that part. I love the car, but the turning radius. Alright, y'all ready for this? I'm gonna try some of the manual mode here. Engage! How do you shift? Wow, that is not the most fun thing ever, holding onto a shifter bar and shifting. I'd say the suspension in here is, it floats well, but when you're going over big bumps, especially high speeds on a highway, it shakes the whole cabin. And it's just the plastics like elite with noise and all their scratching and all that stuff. There you go. Another little quirk this thing has is the brake pedal. It squeaks like a mouse. Wait for it. That's funny.
Alright, well, I'd say this wraps up this video, and I always would say that this SUV is fantastic. It runs, it drives, it goes the distance. Obviously it goes for like over 1,000-mile road trip with no problem. Eats up a lot of gas, but it's 87, so that's not too bad at all. With all the quirks and features along the way here, I can't see why you wouldn't want to have one of these. They're spacious, they got plenty of power in both engine sets, and look at all the room you could have. Like, so much room, and you can haul your family of 5 in there as well. But if you can handle some of its more quirks and features, you got the squeaking, and you got the repainted doors, the red showing through, stuff like that, and some cosmetic interior stuff with that very fancy cracking along the dash there. I'd say this is a winner of a vehicle, and I would drive it all day long. So that's it for today, guys. Thank you so much for watching GTSam. I am Sam. We'll catch you later.